All right, so I just finished another book this weekend, and I'm on a bit of a roll with this author, so I might as well take a minute and tell you about how much I loved this book too. So I'm talking about the book Faith Unraveled by Rachel Held Evans. Now, Rachel Held Evans is somebody that became very well known in, I think, certain Christian circles. She obviously writes a lot about faith. She is someone who grew up very, very involved in her Christian faith and later kind of found that she had some questions about it. She grew up in the town where let me make sure I get the name. It's obviously the Scopes monkey trial. I wanted to make sure I got the name right. I thought that was it, but I was afraid I was going to mess it up. Where the Scopes monkey trial took place, which is a legal proceeding basically determining whether it was legal to teach evolution or not. And it ended up being like this big sort of argument, confrontation, debate between a leading scholar for evolution and a leading scholar for creationism. And so she talks about how that was sort of a great backdrop for her own wrestling and struggling with how does faith relate to science? How does it not? What do I believe? Is it okay to ask these questions? Is it not? Some people seem to be really upset by these things. And so it's a memoir. In fact, this book was originally called Evolving in Monkey Town. But after she passed, I don't know if it was republished after she passed or shortly before she did, but it kind of became renamed Faith Unraveled. And so this is definitely an updated version of that book. There's a few things that she talks about in the back of the book that indicate that this had previously been published. But Rachel Held Evans has become a voice of, to some people, of hope, of the fact that it's okay to wrestle with what you believe, which I think is really important. Whether you're a Christian or another religious belief, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever, whether you grow up, in a home that really practices religion or not. And it doesn't just mean religious beliefs either, but wrestling with your beliefs about politics, wrestling with your beliefs about morality. I mean, those are things that we all have to do as we sort of grow up. And that's why a lot of times you find them in these sort of coming-of-age memoir kind of stories. I'm a huge fan of those because I often find myself as someone who's sort of reevaluating what I've believed and looking forward, trying to make sure that my future, that I'm doing better as I go forward in the way that I care for people and that kind of thing. So this is a book that I personally loved, and I will continue to, I've read 3 out of 4 of her books. I'll probably read her last one sometime in the not too distant future. Yeah, so Faith Unraveled by Rachel Held Evans. If that's something that interests you, make sure you pick it up.